Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Creative Writers and Illustrators. And my guest for the day is Arti Sonthalia, who's out with a brand new book from Penguin Random House. Hi Arti.
Hi Shamala.
Can you
How
tell
are you?
us? I'm fine. Can you tell us what the book is all about?
Okay, so SIMI Stands Tall is my new book, and it's published by Penguin, as Shamala has told you. Simi has just joined a new school, and she has to face a lot of challenges at home as well as in school. And it's her journey from accepting those challenges and growing up as an individual and learning to stand tall with courage and confidence. That's the book all about. Yeah.
So what intrigued me about the book was, which is very unique, you started the book with a list and
Yes.
ended the book with a list. I am not going to give a spoiler as to who is involved in the list, but that's a very unique way. What made you choose such a start and end?
So I really wanted Simi's relationship with her fish Goldie to be something special. And I wanted it to be the highlight of the book. And it's her transition, if you see, from the first chapter, Goldie and Me, to the last one. And to the list, it looks the same, the first and the last. But if you read the content, you'll see how Simi is she's changed as an individual. So it's, for me, my character needs to grow and she needs to have some change so that the reader who's reading it understands, the child who's reading it understands that everything is going to change and this transition has to happen. And the transition should be a good transition. You should learn something from that. So my whole idea was to put it up as a list that it's not like boring, and just look at it and you're like, okay, like it's a list form, quickly have a look at it and have some fun. I want to add an element of fun also to it.
Yeah. And I think it's an interesting choice because it introduces the character, it introduces the world, and we know exactly what the character is.
Yes. Yeah. You know what you're heading into.
Yeah. Nicely, that was nicely done. So have you changed schools in your childhood? Is that a lived experience?
It is an experience. I have changed a school, but it's nothing to do with Simi. Simi had a lot of challenges. I had really good friends, and so it was a good experience for me. But yes, the change of school did happen for me. It was a good transition, and I enjoyed it very much. And I think a lot of kids are changing schools today, especially people from the army or people from who keep shifting places and things like that as parents need to work or because of medical reasons or for any reason. So I think it's a very exciting thing for the kids. Just on Sunday, I met a kid where I had a book reading, and she came up to me and she said, "Oh my God, this book relates so much to because next week I'm shifting to Bangalore." I'm like, wow, I'm so glad. I said, read it, so that you know what to do.
I'm really glad you wrote this book because I'm someone who's changed schools regularly. So like, finally somebody is kind of addressing what happens. I think that's important. Otherwise, you're like, okay, it's not a common thing which happens, right? But now, of course, things are changing. So
yes,
yeah. So,
and kids are shifting from from day scholars to a lot of hostels and places like that.
Yeah.
So I think the transition is constantly happening. Yep.
The visible message about in this book is about standing tall, but the one thing which kind of it is subtle and yet all over the book, is the importance. It focuses on the importance of regulating the feelings, which I think, as parents, as individuals, we are not taught to do that.
Yes,
because I think we don't reflect that kind of energy and state.
Yeah,
it kind of follows suit. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think this when I wanted to write this book, when it was getting planted in my head and I was getting all kinds of ideas, I really felt that it is the need of the hour And as children, I think we belong to the same what generation where we read only Enid Blyton's adventure and mystery and books that just take us to a magical land, to a fantasy land or something like that, which is also very beautiful. I loved Enid Blyton. But we never had chapter books, especially for this age group 9 to 12, where the biggest transition happens for a child when she goes into a teenage phase, you know, and she doesn't know that a lot of challenges are going to come, every day for her. A new kind of a ball is going to be thrown to her. It's going to be a yorker. It's going to be a googly, a spin. I don't know what it's going to be. So, I think and those who are readers, they look into books to find out solutions for things, those kids who are avid readers. So, if you're reading something like, if Simi can stand tall, if Simi can, fight a bully, if Simi can fight for her friends, why can't I? Why can't I? So, I think that's very important. And where conversation between families also has come down because of the screen. So where both parents are working at the same time. Children come home from school, they don't have someone to share sometimes. So I think such a message to especially this age group is very important, where you can confide and talk and you can understand. And sometimes children themselves want to talk to their parents. And child came up to me and she said, like the previous book that I read, that I wrote, Read, Write, Race. So in that, a child came up to me and she said that I learned how to talk to my parents because of this. So I think that was so beautiful. And receiving emails when parents say that wish we could have read these books as children, we could talk better to our children or to our own parents. So that openness of conversation has to be there, both for the child as well as for the parent. So those parents who are reading the book to the child, so they also, I think it comes onto them who I think we can have open conversations. And child who's reading to herself also can broaden her vision and open up. I always feel that room should be there. And, I think chapter books, as mentioned earlier, we had a big vacuum. Now, of course, we have some amazing authors in India who is fulfilling all this. So, and I feel these realistic books where children need to understand that, yes, it's okay. Challenges are going to be there, but you've got to stand tall for everything that's going to come. Whether you're 10, 20, 50, 80, you're going to have a challenge every single day of life.
This
So
book
that's
also celebrates, teamwork. It also stresses that
sorry.
this book celebrates teamwork. It
Yes,
stresses on the need, to be a part of the team, even when people are different. Right? You may like
yes,
someone,
yes.
you may not like someone.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yes. So I think that's very important, because that's what you're going to get into when you go into an adult, becoming an adult, when you work into a corporate world, or when you're working anywhere, I think, even as an author, so you write as an individual alone, it's a very lonely job. But after that, publishing is a collaboration. It's a teamwork with everybody. So, I think teamwork where you're going to have a lot of different kind of people, to accept them the way they are. Someone's going to work less than you, someone's going to work more than you. And even at home, why talk about corporate world? You're going to have people at home also who are going to be different from you. So you have to accept them the way they are. You cannot judge them or demean them and think that you are, over smart or things like that. So I remember when, my son used to come back from school, and we have a lot of teamwork in their school. So he used to say, "Oh my God, my teacher put me in a group of people who just don't work, and I'm the only one slugging." So I said, "Yeah, I think maybe he's thinking something right." And I actually went and spoke to the teacher personally. And she said, he needs to learn these skills, because he has to accept everyone from all walks of life. I said, "Keep doing that." It's very important, I think. How to, and she said this lovely thing she said was, he will learn to buck up people. Someone who's weak, "Come on, do your work, come on, do your work, you got to do this, you got to do that." So that teamwork feeling will come in. So I think that's a wonderful thing in today's generation to learn, where it's all about I, me, as you said. It's all about me and me. Yeah.
So, when you're talking about I, me, and myself,
Mhm.
I thought of the character you created, Vidhi. She's again
Yeah.
unique because she's not in the competition
Yes.
zone. And I think
Yeah.
characters like that in books are rare who kind of root for their friends and they
Yeah.
are there. Otherwise, the school world, today's competitive world teaches you that you have to compete
Mhm.
against your best friend and just
Yeah. Yeah.
put friendship aside,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
what are
Yeah.
your thoughts about Vicky? Did
I'm
you
so glad you point
did the character come through naturally, or did you?
naturally to me, very naturally. And I'm so glad you pointed out Vidhi because, everybody keeps talking about Simi, Parth, and Alisa. But, and the point you raised is so amazing because that's what I wanted to prove and write about that Alisa is already competitive. Uh, Simi is already talking that, hey, I'm the academic kid. So you need someone more grounded who believes in friendship. It's not just me about me and self. And there are people who value these things, more than anything else. It's okay, even if you lose, but friendship is important to us. So, yeah, it comes from my days in the hostel, where we were together and we used to root for our friends, it was amazing. So I think it just sparked from there.
I
Yeah.
think the world needs more people like Vidhi. It will make the world
Yeah.
becomes a better place, right?
Yes.
So, this book also deals with loss and
Mm.
regulating grief,
Yeah.
and also the
Yeah.
fear of having a parent and the
Yes.
unsurety, the uncertainty which comes with having a parent
Yes.
who's dealing with
Yeah.
cancer, right?
Yeah.
So, Simi, let's talk about Simi. How she's navigating
Yeah.
this world between school and
Yeah.
home.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Today, every household, most households, I would say, are dealing with these kind of diseases, and someone or the other, your relative has cancer, someone has cancer, and it's also prevalent in children today. And not making cancer a taboo word, you know, because children hear it all day. Your aunt has cancer, your cousin has a cancer, someone's lost hair because of cancer, someone's lost something because of cancer. It's all over social media, it's on television, and things like that. So, to not make it taboo and also kids accepting it. And also, I wanted to make a point really mm, compassion I wanted to bring in, which we see in Simi and her siblings towards their mother. There is someone at home is ill, they need compassion. You can't think about yourself all the time. It's not about you all the time, whether you're a child or you're a young adult. If there's an older person at home, they do need care, they need your compassion, they need you to be there for them. So I think these things really are important to have into a child's life, because we are today or tomorrow, someone or the other we know needs compassion, from us. So I really wanted to have this in Simi, as because she's the most loved character in the book. And so when you have a character who's loved and most talked about, you want to replicate that into your life. You want to copy that. So I wish people copy her compassion. Yeah.
The book also focuses on working together as a family when there is a crisis. I think this
Hmm.
book,
Yeah.
you have woven so many unique things which are relevant. I think it's beautifully done, really.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes.
So, what are your thoughts on how families should work together when there is a
Yes.
crisis? Because again,
Yes.
we are not trained, and kids can
Yeah. We're not trained.
take the adults in their lives.
Yes. Yes. I think, see, anyways, we are moving towards nuclear families. We have moved any which ways, right? And how many? Two, four people live in one house, three, that's it. And if you're not going to have compassion and empathy towards each other, then who are you going to be compassion towards? So another reason of having a pet was, and plus a parent who needs compassion, was to show children the balance between the two. A lot of times you're compassionate towards your pet, but not towards your parent or towards a person at home. So that balance has to be there, you know. And working together as a family, I feel, is very, very important because you can pull through a lot of things, a lot of hard stuff. Like in the beginning, Simi cannot accept Akash's drums and all. And the transition in the last she has is, I'm not going to give away the thing, but I love this line when she says, Akash's drums are here to stay.
Yeah.
Yes. I have to, accept them, even if, my fish is shaking with his drums.
Not happy.
Yeah. I love that part, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is so beautiful that that's how you're going to accept your family members, because we all are different. We are absolutely different. I think family bonding is very important.
Yes. So is there anything else you would like our viewers to know about this book?
It's just that
I saw you. Do you want to read something out? I saw there are.
No, these are my marking. I had a book reading on Sunday, so they're all marked, and I haven't got new copies till now. So that's the thing. But yeah, I just want to tell my readers that whether it's a parent who's watching this interview or whether it's a child, I feel SIMI Stands Tall is a must read for most of us, even as a parent. Just run through it once, share the copy, pick it up from the library, because it just helps all of us to stand tall. It just teaches all of us to stand tall. That's it, I think. Yeah, that's all my message to them.
Congratulations, you won an award. So tell us what that's all about. Which book?
Yes, so
what's the award about?
Okay, so this is Read, Write, Race. Again, I love this book. It's about Raghav, and he has a secret, and the secret is that he's 10 years old and he cannot read and write properly, and he doesn't know that he is dyslexic. And everybody in school looks down upon him because he's academically weak. But he has his own strengths too. And even his own best friend, Wade, disowns him, and he joins a group who is more popular and things like that. So it's about, again, I would say somewhere standing tall comes there also. Of course, it's not mentioned, but standing tall and real. The best part I love about this book is that Raghav realizes he needs help, and he asks for help. So that's something so amazing that when you need help, ask for it, take it. Don't hide away, don't push yourself into a bag. So I think that's something amazing about this book, which I love, and I loved writing it as well. I'm so glad Vicky has acknowledged it. Thank you to Vicky again, and thank you to Scholastic too, to publish this book. Yes, Shamala, that's all I think I have to say about Read, Write, Race.
The book opens conversations, much needed conversations among educators and children, parents, and thank you so much, Arti, for being here. Okay.
Thank you, Shamala. I love the questions that you have put on. Amazing. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.